so our project, we were creating a shiny app in our studio to help a local nonprofit organization, Tarvin. So just talking about our project, so this, I'll just gloss over this slide. Last semester, we were part of a change lab, so what we were doing is analyzing the point of sale data from urban seeds to try and help them understand their data, since many don't have a statistical background.
So, like Olivia said, our client was Urban Seeds, which is a local nonprofit in Evansville, and what they do is they work on increasing food access through providing less expensive and healthier alternatives to grocery store foods. And as you can see on here, they have a lot of different programs offered over there. All we're going to talk about today is the Nourish program, though. So this is an online platform for buying low-price grocery bundles, and you can see a few examples of their products right there. So they have like fresh vegetable bags, fresh fruit bags, etc. And what we worked with was their POS system data, and we used that to perform a bunch of different data analysis.
So then jumping into the data, so this is directly what their data from their point of sale system looked like. And so it's pretty clustered together, and it's pretty difficult to see all the different products, all the different orders. So we worked to tidy this up to make it clean and where it could actually be useful. Okay, so for our approach, so a big part of the project was kind of identifying the different variables they wanted to know, not only about the customers, the products, the orders, geographically where people are. And so what we did is we used a GitHub repository, and all of this has been coded in on.
So the first variable we looked at was the orders. One thing that made it a little bit difficult was they went through several price changes of their products. So we analyzed where these price changes occurred and how that affected the number of orders that they were getting and the total revenue. And then we looked more closely into revenue as a whole. We analyzed it against time, and then we also had a filter where you could choose what zip code it was in. So they could see what zip codes were bringing in the most revenue. Then we looked into products as well, and we just analyzed the number of products sold over time and by zip code, and then this just showed them the trends of their products and how it differs throughout the year, if there's some seasonality with certain products, or just which ones are most popular in general.
Okay, and then for the customers, so they were trying to see where their customers are actually distributed throughout Evansville to try and target those food deserts, see where they can further help customers, but then actually also the areas that they're successfully targeting. And then also another important thing about customers is they are SNAP eligible, so they are working to see how they can further help SNAP customers in the future. Okay.
We're going to go to our actual portal now.
So just an overview of the portal. So this is it's open access. The only stipulation is that you actually have the correct data. So on this, we just have our our logo. We actually have a step-by-step guide for our clients so that they can go through and visualize all of this data and understand how to use the portal. So this is just where we would upload our CSV file, and then it gives them a quick summary of their different variables. So then next I'll go to the interactive map. So let's see. So on the interactive map, you can choose either revenue or the total number of orders. There is also a timeline function. So I just click create the map. Let's see. Okay, there we go. And so it's actually going to play throughout time so that they can see how that distribution is changing. And then if you hover over the different counties, the different parts of Evansville, the different zip codes, you can actually see a quick summary of the products, the top customers, and how much revenue is being generated.
Okay, so this is our product analysis tab. This is where a majority of stuff is. So like I mentioned, they went through several different price changes, which affected how we can see what products are most popular if we just look at revenue. So we have this graph right here, which shows the price change for the selected product down here. So up here you can select whatever product you want to be able to see. And then in like the bluish green color, we have the number of that product sold. And then in the purple is the scaled revenue. So you can see which product price was the best one for them. And then down here is basically the same graph, except this one's also broken up by month at the bottom. And then these dashed lines still show the same price change. And then up here, this just kind of explains for them like what it means when the lines are overlapping versus when revenue is above or below 61. If you have questions, we can get into that later as well. And then this is kind of just breaks it apart into two kind of simpler graphs. So you can pick as many products as you want to for this. So I'll click a couple here, hopefully it'll load. Yeah, so over here we have revenue, and then over here we have the number of products sold. So that just breaks it up, makes it a little bit easier to see. And you can also change that by zip code as well. And this is the product trends tab. So here you can see just the trend of whatever products you want to over time. So I'll select a couple of different ones just so you can see them. So it just shows, the popularity of products over time, which can help them just see if there's any seasonality amongst certain products or see which products are most popular. This is pretty similar, except it's broken up by zip code, and this one's in bar chart form. And it's still a lot to look at, especially when you add more and more products to it. But I like that it shows you just an overall picture of where the most activity is coming from. So you can see that like in every year, this is kind of where the most activity is coming from. You know the Evansville area, those are like the main Evansville zip codes. Some of the other ones are just kind of like the more rural areas. So since that's a little difficult to see down here, this is basically like a zoom in on that. So you can pick as many zip codes as you want to on here. So another one. So you can kind of just zoom into specific zip codes that you want to see more up close. And then down here we have the percentage of the products sold in the selected zip code and the selected year. So for this one though, you only want to select one zip code, otherwise it'll mess up the percentages. So here in the year 2022, you can see that their most popular product in that zip code was the fresh fruit bag, which took up 33.3% of their sold products. And then this one is where you can group similar products together and compare against a different type of product. So one thing that they really emphasize with their mission is the importance of like fresh fruits and vegetables and fresh produce, but they have a lot of different options for those. So we can group them all together, and then we'll group another like similarity. So we'll do all the meat options here. You can group them together, and then we can compare two different groups against each other to see what types of products are most popular. So here you can see that the yellow line is for the like fresh produce, and then the blue line is for the meat. And you can see that for the most part, they were pretty successful with their goal of emphasizing the importance of fruits and vegetables, because you can see the sales are a lot higher for those than it is for the meat options for the most part.
Okay, so I'll talk about the customer analysis tab. So I'll go ahead and jump into some of the bar charts that we have here. It just gives a quick output of how many customers actually use those SNAP coupons versus non-SNAP customers. So we just have the different bar charts for the years for the products, just really focusing on that direct comparison of SNAP users. So let's see, and then just as a side note, there's some other coupons on there. Those are just included as in like they would do like a giveaway or something. So we're comparing all the variables, the orders, the products, the coupons for the different customers. So then we actually have a customer distribution, and so this also has a timeline associated with it. So they would be able to see all of these percentages changing throughout the different months. And then okay, and so then on the customer effects, let's see. Go to customers. We are going to group together some of their different more niche boxes, some of the different ones that aren't their most popular, and then let's go ahead and just add in some different customers. So basically what this is allowing them to do is This is just allowing them to see the comparison over that timeline of the different individual customers so that they can see, oh, they started buying more fresh fruits and vegetables. Oh, they stopped buying this certain meat bag. Just try and see that seasonality, but then also to get to know their individual customers more closely.
Okay, so next we have, this is our Walmart price tab. So this tab compares Walmart price products to Urban Seeds products. So you can just type in the name of a product and a zip code, you press create the table, and it's gonna pull all of the fruit products from Walmart on this side, and then this is all of the Urban Seeds products over here. So it's not exactly perfect because there's no 100% exact comparison here, but you can see that say their mixed produce bundle here is $20, and that comes with a variety of fruits and vegetables. It's a lot of stuff in there, versus say one thing of fresh blueberries is $7 at Walmart. So you can see that in Urban Seeds, it's not a direct comparison, but you can still see you're probably getting a pretty good deal for what it comes with. And then you can also look at the Urban Seeds website if you want to know exactly what is in that. But this could be used for either our client or even for customers as well. So our client could use it in order to be able to look at Walmart prices without having to go search Walmart. Makes it a little bit easier for them. But then also customers could even use this to be able to see what kind of a deal they're getting with Urban Seeds versus just Walmart in general. So that is pretty much all we have for you guys. We did want to thank our professor, Dr. Cormali, and Maria Martin, who's the Executive Director of Urban Seeds, for their help on this project, and then also the University of Evansville Chancellor for supporting this project.